Okay, and welcome to Final Fantasy. That's right, this is the original Final Fantasy for NES, the original Nintendo. This was one of my favorite games of all time. It's one of my favorite franchises of all. And we're going to go ahead and get started here with a new game. This is just has such a special place in my heart. So you start off by picking your party. You can pick whatever kind of party you want, but this is the only chance you will have to do that. Usually I use two fighters, a white mage and a black mage, but this time we're going to try something a little different and do a fighter, a thief, a black mage, and a white mage. So just plug in your names and we'll be on our way. But yeah, this brings back a I don't know, it's a special place. I remember when it came out, I had this Nintendo Power magazine, had this big expose, over Final Fantasy, and this was a real make or break for Square Enix. This was in many ways what they thought their swan song was going to be. They thought this was going to be the last game of their existence, and instead it actually pretty much launched Square Enix into what it is today. This is the first RPG I ever picked up, and interesting little fact is I never actually owned this game when I was a kid. I used to rent it from like Blockbuster and stuff, from money I would save up from babysitting my brother and stuff like that. But so yeah, I never actually got to beat this game until last year, I think it was. So that's kind of funny, 26 years later after its release, I finally got around to beating it. But it was always a game that I loved, and Final Fantasies are just a franchise that are just wonderful to me. So once all the names get plugged in, we're going to start off right now at Canaria, or something like that. And we're going to go in, and let's go ahead and get some supplies. We're going to get ready. Let's go ahead and get our weapons. So what I want to buy is going to be 2 rapiers, one for the thief and one for the fighter. And then go ahead and just get a couple of these wooden looking shepherd hooks for the mages for now. Not a big selection here in Canaria, but this will be enough to get us started. And then next, I think we'll go and get some armor and get everybody decked out in their armor. And then we'll see from there. Oh, I forgot somebody. And there we go. Okay, now on to the armor. So in here, I think I want to buy, we're going to get chain for the fighter, wooden for the thief, and 2 sets of cloth for the mages. And this is all starter money. It does start you off with 400 gold in the beginning, so that gives you a little something to get going. And after this, I think we're going to go and get our spells, and we'll be on our way. The adventure will begin. So we'll stop and get the white magic first for my white mage, and we're just going to pick up cure. I think that's all we can really do right now. And it's all we really need right now too. And you don't get many uses out of this. I think at this level you might only get 1, maybe 2, but I know it's no more than 2. And black mage, we're going to go ahead and just pick up fire. Fire is a really good starter spell. And then once we're done with that, we are going to go and we need to get to level 3. So we're going to try to fight imps until we can get our level 3. And then we'll go into the castle and we'll talk to the king and find out that his poor little daughter has been kidnapped by an evil wizard. So we will have to go confront this evil wizard, Garland, and defeat him. Well, we can't really go after Garland until we hit level 3. Now, did you notice something that I didn't do? That's right, don't do this. You're about to see what happens if you buy your equipment, but you don't equip it. Yeah. It's a rather unfortunate little situation when that happens. You can't hit them, and if you do hit them, you do 1 damage. So when you buy your equipment before you leave the town, make sure you go into your menu and equip it. Don't do what I just did. And it's actually a lot easier to overlook than you would think. And I'm still not figuring out that, oh wait, I didn't equip it. Luckily, there is an escape option, well, a run option anyway, so if this happens, what you'll do is just try to go to the run option and then get away. And usually within 1 or 2 turns you can get away from the monsters. See, now I figure it out, so I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's get out of here. So you just go to your weapons and equip all that, and then you'll go to your armor and do the same exact thing. So, yep, gotta make sure your stuff is equipped. Otherwise, it's a bad day. Okay. So, like I said, we're going to go ahead and we need to get to level 3. So I'm gonna cut some of this out and just kind of show you the highlights of getting to level 3. So I think will just be 3 fights. Obviously, it takes about 30-45 minutes, I would say, to get to level 3 from level 1. Now this was the, this is the original. This is where the grind comes in. It's like, we didn't know what a grind was until Final Fantasy, and that kind of introduced us to the, oh, this is the grind. You know, something that the MMOs have largely adopted. And in these beginning fights, you can just attack them because there's not much reason to, you know, throw in all your magic. You're only going to get 1 or 2 spells out of the magic power you got, so you might as well save that for when you need it. And so we didn't level up with that fight, but the next fight we should. And here we go. Once again, we're just gonna fight. And with these, unlike in some other later Final Fantasies, I always try to pick different monsters, because if you pick the same monster, if the person kills it before you hit it, then you will go and hit an empty space. So that's why I space that out. In later Final Fantasy, your character would just move on to the next, but that's not the case with this one. There we go. That should be a level, I believe. And it was. So, there's our level 2. And that will go across to all parties. Unless you have a party member that dies and you continue the fight and are awarded experience, all of your people will level at the same time. But if someone is dead and you finish the fight, that person will not get the XP, so that will throw them on a different cycle, if you know what I mean. So if you want to keep your characters all the same, then what I recommend is if you lose one, it's just to try to run away. And remember to save, save often. If you're playing the console, the original console version, on the original console, then you can only save at the ends and through tents or through cabins, and that will replenish your stuff. But otherwise, just stick with using your save state if you're like using an emulator or something like that. Like I said, we'll jump around just a little bit here to go to our level 3. I went ahead and looks like I skipped 2, but no big deal. At level 3, we're going to go in here and we are going to talk to everyone we can in the castle, and we are going to talk to the king and find out about his daughter being kidnapped by an evil wizard. And what are we going to do to that evil wizard? Gonna bust him. I'll smack him around. Okay, King, we are on the job. We can go and do this. So the other rooms in this here castle, you need a mystic key, which we don't have yet. You will get that in just a little while. But we don't have it right now. I just noticed I think I could have looted that chest. Oh well. So, the dungeon where you're going to go to is going to be all the way in the very far north. I'm just going in here to buy a couple extra spells because I think we can afford them. Fog actually increases your, I think it's like agility or something like that. Makes you a little bit harder to hit, anyway. It's a good, spell for the, white mage to have. And harm was another one, but it doesn't seem to really take a whole lot. And you also are definitely going to want to get lit. And I went ahead and picked up sleep because It actually does work on, you know, a lot of the lower level type of stuff. Not as effective, you know, in later game, but it works all right at this point. And then you want to stay in the inn and get all of your health and your magic and everything back before you head up to face Garland, the evil wizard. And keep in mind, you might want to go over to the item shop like I'm doing here and go ahead and buy a tent or a couple tents. And if you can afford some heal potion, go ahead and, you know, buy what you can there as well. But you definitely want a tent. Like I said, if you're playing this on the original console, then that tent is going to be the only way that you're going to be saving. And so you want to save right outside of the cave up here where the boss is going to be. So go out of Canaria and go north. Now you will have some random encounters as you're traveling here. And hopefully you can just, you know, take as little damage as possible. Don't use your magic or anything like that. Because the tent will not replenish your magic. It will replenish your health, but not your magic. I believe a cabin might replenish your magic, but don't quote me on that. There we go. So, like I said, go north and just follow the shoreline a little bit here like I'm doing. There's the cave, and of course we get one more random encounter. So, there's some spiders, no big deal. Should take them out fairly easily. Come on, anyone got a newspaper? How about a flip-flop? Ice water? Some raid? Anything? And luckily the spiders, they ain't hitting. Not too good anyway. So here we go. We should be able to make it to the cave where we can set up our tent and then get ready to go in and loot a couple chests and then fight the boss. There we go. Now I'm going to use the tent and go ahead and make sure we are 100% healed. And go ahead and save the game for those of you who are on the console. For those of you who are using, you know, a different means, make sure you save your state. Now, there are 4 rooms in here, not including the middle one with Garland. The 2 on the right are locked. Once again, mystic key. So you need to go to the 2 on the left hand side here and you can get a cap, which you can equip to your mage, or one of your mages. You'll have to trade it because it will automatically go to the leader of the party. And then up above is another chest that will have a heal potion, which I'm going to skip because I don't really need it. There's too many wolves in this party. I want to hurry up and get out of here so that I can go ahead and face the wizard. I don't want to get into a drawn out fight before I go fight the boss. So go back to where you originally came, and we're just going to go into that central room and we'll face off against Garland. who is a complete and utter joke, by the way. Don't have to worry about him too much. He ain't too scary. Well, he doesn't want to give us back the princess. That's fine. So just go ahead and hit him with whatever you can. I put fog on my other mage just to help him, you know, avoid getting hit a little bit. I'm going to use fire. I'll use sleep, anything that I can to take the boss down as quickly as I possibly can. Boy, that thief is missing. Accuracy is definitely not his strong point. I try to do that harm spell, but quite often it ends up being ineffective. As you can see, he doesn't hit very hard, and I'm doing okay taking the damage at this point. And my black mage just put him to sleep. Rock-a-bye garland in a tree tab. I decided to save my magic power in case I needed to cure somebody. And that is a wrap. So, there you go. That is the first boss dead. So, here we go. Now let's go talk to the princess. Once the bats get out of the way. And after we talk to her, she will send us directly to the castle, where we will talk to her. She will give you a magical lute, and the king will erect a bridge in your honor. So, after, if there's anything else that you need in Canaria, go ahead and buy what you need. You know, some heal potions, any spells that you might want before you go. It's a very long walk to the next few places we're going to be going. And there are some tougher mobs, so you gotta like be a little prepared, and there we have it. So that was the very beginning of Final Fantasy number 1. So that's chapter 1, the first boss complete, and now we're moving towards our second city. In our next episode, I will show you where to go from here. We'll be going to a witch's cave. I can't remember her name. I'm going to call her Matilda because it's something like that. And that is the first stop we will make, and then we will cruise on over to Provoca, where we may have to run into some pirates. So, until next time, everybody have a great one, and happy gaming.